guys and girls, welcome back to Watch the Time. Thanks for tuning back in, thanks for coming back to see me, and I'm really pleased about to bring you another Proxima. I'll leave the model number up in the corner with the name obviously. I was sort of in contact with them every so often. They brought out this new watch. Again, it's sort of homaging a watch that's been doing the rounds massively on AliExpress. I liked a few different things about this in terms of the bracelet and stuff they're using. Proxima make exceptional watches. I've got one in my collection. I dare say I'll probably add one or two more in the future, possibly even this watch. But I really like the look of it. PT5000 running inside. This one has an exhibition case back, which the other watches that are being homaging the original doesn't have. So it's nice. If you want to see the movement, this has got you covered as well. Like I said, Proxima do bits in terms of their finishing, in terms of the way they construct their watches. Very good. I've not had a bad one in, to be honest. They produce some outstanding watches, so I'm hoping this continues in that vein, which I'm pretty confident about. But I'm sure, again, by the time we get to the end of the video, you'll know if it's for you. If it is, please use the link in the description. It's an affiliate link, doesn't cost you any more, makes your life a bit easier, whilst giving the channel a little bit of a kickback. But yeah, I'll keep it as honest as possible, keep it as real. And like I say, we'll get there together to make a conclusion on what you think. And please always leave comments in the description, in the comment section. I do love your engagement. I do love your feedback. Also makes me think about things a little bit differently, maybe things I might have missed. So I do appreciate it. But with that being said, there's no better time to get the camera turned around and get on with it. Hi guys and girls, so this is the watch. This is the usual packaging I've had from Proxima. This the sort of black briefcase style with the 4 clips. Open it up. I've done the clips. You've got inner foam. There's the watch I opted for. We'll talk about that in just a moment. It comes wrapped in sort of cellophane, and it all comes wrapped in this cloth as well to keep it safe. I've taken off 4 links, 2 of which are half links and 2 are normal size links. Give us a screwdriver. The screwdriver was a little bit disappointing. It actually didn't fit. I had to use a different screwdriver, so that was a bit of a shame. It comes with some stuff on there. They've written my name on there. I'm not sure why, but there you go. And it's got a warranty card and the instruction manual underneath. It's signed. That's pretty standard with Proxima. They're normally pretty good. Instruction manual you can read at your own perusal. But there we go. That's all the stuff. Let me just put that to the side quickly, and then we can have a good look at the watch. They've done this in a few different color variations actually, so I'll bring them up now so you can have a look. Maybe the one more in keeping with your taste, but I really like the black with the black bezel and the white sort of miniature going around the outer edge. I thought that looked really cool. Let me undo the crown quickly. I'll put it to a more sort of friendly position that I like to record, sort of over, say, around there, say that'll do the job. And screw it back up. You'd have seen the eagle-eyed of you would seen it does hack. Let's put some extra charge in there and do the crown up. So yeah, the model number for this is the PX1711. As I said in my thumbnail, can you get an original homage? Because we all know what this is taking inspiration from, but they've definitely put their own slant on it, in my mind anyway. So yeah, the PX1711, inside it's running an automatic PT5000 movement. I'll bring some information up about that movement now. I've had this movement in many watches now, guys, at this point. Never let me down, to be honest. It's got 25 joules, 48-hour power reserve, 28,800 beats per hour. Yeah, I've never had an issue with this. This one's running sort of 3 seconds faster day, I would surmise, in and around that. And that's really good, isn't it? It's a clone of the SW200 and the ETA 2824, therefore. So, but also you can get this with the SW200 in through Proxima, a little bit more expensive. So obviously I opted for the PT5000, given it's a really good movement at this point. So there you go. The watch itself, so apart from the crystal on the front and back and part of the bezel, it's all 316L stainless steel. So you've got brushing on the top, excuse me, my fingerprints. So you've got brushing at the top, brushing at the sides. You've got screw pins, keeping it safe. Like I said, a little bit narrow for the screwdriver they gave me. You've got brushed on the clasp, faceted edge that's polished, going around down the sides. Brushed inside, you've got a bit of writing on there as well. Solid end links. You've got a quick release on the end links, which make it easy to change out. Polished on the outer part of the exhibition case back, as well as a bit of brushing as well. Brushed and polished on the case itself, so brushed at the sides, So polished, brushed, it transitions through from the case. Done really well, to be honest. I like it. And you've got a crown that's signed. But yeah, mixture of brushing and polishing, as I've sort of outlined throughout. So there you go. The case thickness of the watch is 12.6 millimeters. The case diameter, I'm normally measure from the 8 to the 2 o'clock position. It's coming at 39.4 millimeters. And when you go for the 9 to the 3, including the crown, it's coming at 43.1 millimeters. So 39.4, 43.1. The lug width on this is 20. That does taper down to 16 and back up to 18 mil at that fully milled clasp. And the lug to lug, tip to tip, is a true lug to lug. You'll see it's got female end links of the center link, so it's coming in at 45.7 millimeters. So I think we'll agree, good proportions there, guys. It's going to appeal to a lot of different people of different wrist sizes at this point. So there we go. The case back, I've already mentioned, is an exhibition case back. It is a sapphire crystal screwed down with lots of different bits of information around there. I'll bring it a bit closer. So there you go, just the information we're really going to run through at this point anyway. The bezel is part ceramic, so you've got ceramic for the black part, you've got stainless steel for the inner part. 120 click unidirectional bezel. I'll let you take a listen. No bounce, no back play. Every click is positive the last. And yeah, I do really rate Proxima, to be honest. So I'm not really surprised that was the case with this watch. 120 click unidirectional bezel. Crown is situated at the 3 o'clock. It's nice to see they put a bit of signage on there, not sterile. Nice size crown as well. Screwed down as I've showed before. Pops nicely away from the case. And yeah, hacks as well and stuff. But we'll go through that. We'll look at the dial as well. So that's the crown. The strap it comes on, as I've said, is stainless steel. Tapers down, all brushed. Screw pins. It's a one piece made to look like a 3-piece. It comes down to the fully milled clasp. 4 levels of micro adjustment on that clasp. Bit of signage inside I showed you just a moment ago. So there you go. The crystal covering the dial. Give me just 1 second, guys. Let me give it a quick wipe. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I'm going to start getting some gloves soon, so when I do these, it doesn't leave all fingerprints. But yeah, it's sapphire crystal covering the dial. So yeah, sapphire sandwich. Boom, we like that. The water resistance of the watch is cited as being 200 meters, so that'll give you 20 atmospheres of water resistance, and the weight will appear in the top right. So with those 4 links out, of which 2 were half links, it's coming at 127.5 grams. So with those links back in, you're probably about 145 grams, maybe 150. So yeah, reasonable sort of heft for the watch itself. But yeah, that's the dimensions, guys. That's the weight. But let's have a look at the dial, guys, in a bit more detail. So you'll see you've got quite a pronounced minute track in white, which is nice to go with the sort of black, matte black dial inside there. You've got applied battens everywhere. You've got circular battens. You've got rectangular battens at the 12, 3, 6 and 9 o'clock position. You've got double circular battens at the 12, single circular battens everywhere else where there isn't a rectangular batten. You've got high polished white hands, which I quite like. So good proportions on the hands. You got an arrow at the hour. You got a lollipop on the second hand as well. Everything is loomed. I'll bring the loom up now. The loom on this is not amazing, but it's not bad. I wasn't expecting the bezel to be loomed, to be honest, because that was a nice touch. But it's not sort of one that's going to last and last. But it does have a decent burst on there. So there you go. So I said white hands. You got that. The indices have got sort of like an area they're put on, which you can slightly see. So it's white just around the indices itself. Matte black dial, as I've said already. Nothing at the 12. You got 200M, 660 feet automatic, just above the batten at the 6. But yeah, I think it looks really nice. I think the black and white look really cool together. As you'd have seen at the start, you can get this in other colours. This was the one I wanted just because it looks a little bit different to the ones that I've seen before. But yeah, PT5000 movement running inside as well. So if you take the crown out, it will hack. You put it back in, it will start back up again. If you turn it away from you, you'll hear. It's quite loud, isn't it, the charging? There is a ghost position, unfortunately. But it does seem like they've not left it in there because you can't hear the date turning. But it has got a ghost position nonetheless. And as I say, when you take it out to the furthest position, it will hack. and put it back in, it will start back up again, and then you can just screw it up. Once it's engaged, it's really nice and smooth actually to screw back up, which is a good sign. But yeah, that's the dial, guys. That's the loom. That's everything going on there. That's the movement. Let me just pop it on the wrist quickly, give you an idea what it looks like on my wrist. Okay, so this is what it looks like on my wrist. As I've said before, my wrist is just above a 7-inch wrist for your reference. And it's not looking too bad, is it? I think it's a really good size for my wrist. It's going to fit smaller wrists, big wrists. I think they've got you covered with this in terms of size. And I think it looks pretty as well. So there you go. That's the watch, guys. Just give me a moment and we'll get into the pants and pucker. So yeah, so as I said, we'll now start with the pants and pucker. If you've ever watched before, you know I always start with pants. I like to go on a high with pucker. So what I think is pants is not a great deal. I do really like Proxima watches. Generally, I own one. This could well be staying in the collection as well. So, but there's two things I will mention. First being the bracelet damage. So when I received the watch, you'll be able to see just near the lugs, in and around there, there's been scuff marks. That's how the watch arrived, which was a bit unfortunate, to be honest. I really wouldn't have expected that from Proxima. Not something I've ever had before, but yeah, a few marks on and around there. I didn't really notice as many on this side, but it was around this side that there was a few. So that's unfortunate. And the price, yeah, not inexpensive. I don't think it's too much for what it is, but yeah, the price over £200. Some people can have a problem paying that. I don't think it's a problem, but I can see where the issue may lie. So that's why I thought I'll bring it up, because it's not an inexpensive watch, especially on AliExpress. In terms of the stuff, yeah. So the bracelet damage and the price are the two things I mentioned. What I think is pucker is, I mentioned the dial. I really like the white sort of minute track with the black inside, the white hands. I think the dial looks fantastic. The hands, yeah, I think the hands being all white is a nice contrast to the black dial again with the white thing. See the hands. The bezel is very positive, lines up nicely, no bounce, no back play, rock solid, good clicks. The bracelet is super comfortable, to be honest. I know there's a little bit of damage at the top of the lugs there, but in terms of how it's generally finished, yeah, no problem whatsoever. So the bracelet is very comfortable, finished very nicely. The crown is cool. I like the fact they put a bit of decoration on there. Like I said, really good to engage with as well. Good size, really smooth once you got it engaged. And the general look of the watch. So like I said, it's not completely original, obviously, but I think they've gone for a few original elements. The bracelet's different, the bezel's different, the colorway looks different to me. I just think it looks different, and I think they've added their own little slant on it. So yeah, the general look. So they're the things I mentioned for pucker: is the dial, hands, bezel, bracelet, crown, and the general look of the watch. And guys and girls, would I recommend this watch? I would. I feel like this is one I probably will keep for a little while, to be honest. I've got nothing that looks like this in my collection. A little bit different, very well made, as Proxima watches are. So yeah, I think it's a really cool watch. But guys and girls, please let me know what you think about this watch, more importantly, and maybe any other watches you may want to see on the channel. And as always say, don't forget to like, subscribe, and always watch the time. Take care, guys. All the very best.